Hello, everyone. What you see here is a project I've been working on for the last few weeks. This is a new Minecraft map I've been creating. It's relatively similar to some of my other maps. The difference between this one, though, and the others is this one is completely generated. Literally from start to finish, I create my world machine file, I build it, and my scripts export it to World Painter, build it, do everything, and the World Painter saves it. There is literally very little manual modifications that have to be made. Now, obviously, this is not done. I'm missing a lot of my layers I want to add, such as grass. I think the trees could use a bit of thinning in some areas, but all of that's completely adjustable. The rivers need to be finished, and I have a separate program I'm working on that will actually detect like edges of the rivers or like areas around the rivers. So let's say you see this, how this curves. I'm gonna have it so it'll detect the curve and put like a patch of rocks there. I'm still working on that. There's a lot of math and algorithms involved in computing that, but it's not too bad, and so far it's going pretty well. Um, and obviously, I have to add layers underneath the rivers. That will all be done. Pretty much, I can control any layer I want, any amount of trees I want. All of that's controlled. The tree densities and stuff is controlled in World Machine, actually. So World Machine just exports all of the layers I want as basically height images. So the height of the terrain determines how many trees there's going to be, right? For example, I only have two layers in this one, rivers and trees so far. I haven't added bushes, I haven't added like little rocks, I haven't added grass or anything yet. That's all going to come as I move forward with this. But so far it's just this, and it's going really good. I mean, I I have been flying around this world looking for like things that might be problematic or might need adjustments. I think this. I think I'm using the wrong block there, and I think that's because of a thing I did in World Machine, but I can fix that. It should be colored like the higher slope blocks like this. Um, the I'll just travel up this river here. The river systems all like work, so they start in the middle of the map and flow outwards towards the end. Like some of my old maps, I'm gonna have like more going on with the rivers, but right now they're very basic. There's no coloring or anything, but I intend to do a lot of that as I explained. Um, there's a lot of different things involved with this. Some of them are most of it's in World Machine actually, just like how I export the stuff is very important. Then I have a custom program that I made that does the river modifications, and that hasn't been completed yet, so that's not done. But then I go into World Painter, and in World Painter I have a script that'll do all the imports and stuff like that automatically, and it'll import the map. It'll then uh, add the layers and whatnot, and then it'll save it as a world. There is, looking at this terrain itself, this is just another test one I made. I can literally use any World Machine world as an input, right? So for this particular one, I think it's a bit too rounded. I want to make the terrain a bit sharper. Um, Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I've just been doing various tests to see what I like best. This is a 10,000 by 10,000 block map, so there are a lot of mountains, and World Machine doesn't particularly like larger size maps, or at least it's harder to make them. However, I have discovered methods from others on how to do it, and I'm slowly learning to use those methods better to make gigantic mountain ranges like this. And I'm slowly getting better at it. I think this is still a bit too lumpy, is the best word for my liking. Um, but it's getting there. As for the trees, I use a variety of World Machine tools to pick basically where I want the trees, and then it generates that height map image I was talking about that has all the trees placed, or that determines where the trees are going to be placed, I should say. Um, Same with the rivers. The river is just the world machine river layer, and then that outputs a river um, as a layer to world painter, and then world painter fills it in with the standard river layer as I've shown in some of my previous worlds. Um, yeah, I think the density over here is a bit too large. I did add a bit of randomness, so you see that spot in the middle there where there's less trees. But I think overall it could be slightly less dense in some areas, and I can tone that down pretty easily. Um, of course, I just really like how controllable this is. Like I can, this is just literally two layers, and I get this. I can go in and add uh even more tree types, even more terrain types too. I only have, I think, 11 or 10 right now, 10 different colors. I think I'm gonna add to my script a feature where it'll find the nearest, because I like to color with World Machine also, so I could theoretically do something where I find the nearest average Minecraft block color to the World Machine color, and then it'll pick the block for me, so I don't have to do it. But maybe we'll see. Those are all things I can add as I go. Currently, the code, all the scripts and stuff is private. I do intend to publicize it for free once it's all done. However, this is a longer term project, so I wouldn't expect it to be finished in the short term. I want to say 6 months or so is probably a good bet. Maybe less. We'll see how fast I get it done. I do work full time, so I only like to do this on weekends, and within that time I have a lot of other things I like to do on weekends as well, so the time I have to spend on this isn't the most amount of time, but I do intend to finish it. The fact that I've gotten this far is enough to tell me that this is a fully completable project. There is no reason why I shouldn't be able to do this. Yeah, this is kind of funny. So what happened here is there's a river actually underneath, and then it applied the snow layer on top, which honestly I kind of like that because it shows that there's some kind of like water pathway. So I might keep that as is. I kind of like that. Yeah, the terrain, like I said, bit too lumpy. I think I wanted a bit more jagged looking. It's kind of like lumped a bit, but that should be solvable with by modifying the main thing I'm using. I don't have it open right now, but the main world machine feature that I'm using for this is the instant scattering one, and that basically takes some, say, mountain you make, and it scatters them in a particular pattern. And there's actually I think in the default world machine, like, tutorial files, there's one that has this in it. But anyway, what ends up happening is you scatter these pieces around, and then it forms the terrain into like kind of a line, and it's very hard to really explain what I mean by that. I will have more videos going into the details at a future date, but if you kind of look at this from above, you can see that the terrain's a bit spidery-ish. Like it looks like a crack, like you take a piece of glass and you crack it, right? It doesn't look, and that's kind of how mountains form. They form in this like kind of fractal shape. They don't really have a random structure to them. And although the mountains themselves I think are a bit too rounded, the overall shape on the big scale, so it's very hard to see because of the clouds, but you can kind of see here how they all kind of form this like kind of crack structure and group together, and the rivers kind of follow that. They follow the valleys into the centers, and then they exit into the ocean. And that's kind of what I'm going for. Obviously I can adjust that as needed as I go, but right now I'm really happy with this. This will make it much faster because honestly, I really like creating the terrain in World Machine, and the types of materials I guess I like using, like the colors and the plants and stuff, is very consistent. At least the ones that I like. And maybe I'll change it up. The thing is, this whole thing is configurable. I can add different tree sets in different areas. I can add like different colors anywhere, different Minecraft blocks, like whatever I want, right? So this allows me to make that process way faster. And if I want to make two different terrains that both look like this color wise, I guess, and plant wise, but are completely different types of mountains, I can easily do that now. All I have to do is wait for the thing to build in World Machine, which, in fairness, it does take a while. Like, World Machine is a very powerful program, but even with I have the top tier, second to top tier one, the professional one, which I think is the top tier one, and it uses about 100 up to 120 gigabytes of RAM to build this. So I'm hitting the limit of what I can do. I only have 128 gigabytes, but it obviously this can be downscaled. There's literally no reason why you can't. But I like making them as big as possible because obviously I want the train to be as big as possible. In terms of what I'm gonna do with these maps, not this one. I don't think this is a good one, but when I'm done making, say, one of these, I'll probably just release it free to the public. I don't see why not. And then I don't know if I'll be building anything. Maybe, we'll see. But I kind of just like making the maps and exploring them now. Especially once I add the grasses and stuff. Like right now it's kind of boring because there's not really much going on. But once I add like grass, like more river rocks, like stuff like that, it'll start to look a lot more completed, I guess you could say. Another thing I've done actually is whenever the water is too high up, I've tried to cut it off, or not put the river there, right? So that way it doesn't. And you saw it earlier, probably. There's big waterfalls that get created, and I haven't fully fixed that problem, but by limiting the slope that it can place the river terrains on, and I do that in World Machine actually, it certainly helps. But yeah, it's just like and also I didn't even mention the mods I'm using. Voxy, this is incredible. Like I never thought I'd be able to see something like this, and it's not even done. There's still plenty I want to do to this map, but this is just mind-blowing, honestly. It's completely incredible what the developers of this have created for everyone, and I am eternally thankful for this. This is some next level stuff here. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. If any other major updates occur, I'll probably make more videos, but this is just the first one, and hopefully this project will be done soon. But yeah, thanks for watching and have a good day.